budget. Obviously, in this time, the budget is so important to us. One of the first things that I did was I appointed Alderman Chapman as our budget chairman. The reason I did that, over 4 years ago, I served as budget chairman, and on that committee was Alderman Nona Chapman. Alderman Nona Chapman and I butted heads many a time, but when the day was done, we reached a way to make balanced budgets, to have balanced budgets, to cut expenditures, to meet the revenues that we can expect. For that reason, I put my utmost faith in Alderman Nona Chapman to make sure that this city is budgeted properly. And one of the first things that she did is she issued an edict to all offices, all departments, that we want our 2009 budget expenditures cut by 10%. Did we reach 10%? No, but we always have goals. The police department and the fire department cut their budgets by that edict in excess of $300,000. And I thank the gentleman for doing that for us. Chief O'Halloran, Commander Tom O'Halloran. Once again, goes back to the cooperation that we are receiving from everybody. One of the most important things that we've been able to accomplish, we had a planned restructure of our bonds. It's a refinance, just as you would your mortgage on your home. Interest rates go down, you refinance your high rates, you don't add additional monies, you're paying less money for the money you borrowed years ago. Obviously, we didn't borrow this money, but we have to pay the money back. So what we did was, this is the third step of a refinance structure that's been instituted over the last 3 years. This is the third step. We have a fourth step coming up next year. What we were able to accomplish saved the city millions of dollars. We would have had a rather large, Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, in excess of $3 million payment due in December on our expiring bond. What we were able to do is go down and meet with Standard & Poor's face to face. One of the most important things in being able to sell our municipal bonds with insurance was to keep our bond rating at an A- level. In this day and age, you don't know how many communities were downgraded by Standard & Poor's. With the help of our bond finance gentleman, with the help of our bond financial advisor, with the help of our finance director, John Wysocki, Brian Pabst, Anthony Griffin, our executive director from our Berwyn Development Corporation, and myself, we all took a tour downtown to Standard & Poor's, met with them face to face. We were there for over 4 hours, impressing upon them what we are doing to control the expenses here in Berwyn, what we have done in the first 4.5 months that we've been here, and what we plan on doing in the future. And what did they do? They rewarded us with keeping our A- bond rating, which allowed us now to sell off a $5 million bond refinance that will not cause us to make that large payment in December, even out our payments, not extending past payments we had going on for 20 years, and at a rate, an interest rate, and we were able to obtain insurance for that bond sale. And the reason was because we obtained our A- rating, and the reason we did that was because of the hard work we've done in the last 4.5 months and what these folks you see up here have done. When I say to you the things that we have done or that I have done, don't let me make the mistake. It's not Bob Lovero, it's not the mayor of Berwyn, it is every individual you see up here, because we operate as a team. Our city council operates as a team, which you can tell by the brevity of our meetings. We take care of business and we move on. That's what we were elected to do, and that's what we are doing. So it's not me, it's not the mayor, it is every person that you voted for, including our city clerk, Tom Pavlik, who unfortunately would be here, but he's at a wake today, and our city treasurer, Joe Kroc. Joe Kroc's experience in the banking industry helped us tremendously with his bond refinance and some of the innovative projects that he's brought to us, especially when it comes to obtaining grants. In addition, during the first month that we were in office, Alderman Chapman, Alderman Boyajian, Alderman Santoy, Alderman Michelle Scrid from the Fourth Ward, who has her own meeting tonight, myself, and I'm missing one person. Alderman Ted Palachik from the 6th Ward. We ventured down to Springfield to lobby our legislators to say, we need help. You have a lot of money that you're giving out in these capital projects in this capital bill. We need help here in Berwyn. And we were able to obtain approximately $10 million to bring back from our state legislators. So it's the cooperation of our state legislators that are helping us out to bring back in excess of $10 million. So folks, we are doing everything possible to get our budgets in line, to get the money that is out there from the federal government, from the state government, to help make our lives easier and better here in Berwyn. I'm working off my notes, so. I need to also address, once again, this intergovernmental cooperation that we have. When I was an alderman in the 7th Ward, one of the first intergovernmental agreements that we were able to obtain was with the North Berwyn Park District. Executive Director Joe Velez and I worked on an intergovernmental agreement for a skate park over at the Maple Pool. That was the first intergovernmental agreement that we've had. Since then, and continuing, we are working on many intergovernmental agreements to work with our Park District through Joe Velez, North Berwyn, through Jeff Janda, South Berwyn, through our school districts. If you'll notice, if you have young kids in school, our police department has sat with both school districts as well as the high school to come up with a plan to put a police presence at all our schools so that they can conduct traffic accordingly, so our children will be safe going to the schools, and as well as at our high school, so that we can alleviate some of the problems that the neighbors have experienced in past years, and to alleviate and make our police presence known so that the gangs in this community understand we own this community, not them. We own this community. The township. We've had more conversations with Beth about how we can work together to provide services so we're not duplicating efforts, how we can work together to give the best bang for the buck that you are paying for your tax dollars. And that's what we're attempting to do. Our Berwyn Development Corporation, and I bring them up at this point because economic development was another cornerstone of what we need to do during the next 4 years to help keep your taxes at a stable rate. We need to get businesses in this town. We need to fill those vacant stores. We need to build up that Depot District, that Main Street District, that Roosevelt Road District. We need to build up our business corridors with businesses that you can shop and spend your tax dollars so that it comes back to your community. We don't want you going to LaGrange and Oak Park to shop. We want you to be comfortable here shopping in Berwyn. With that in mind, our Berwyn Development Corporation, with its aggressive board, underneath Paul Zimmer and Tom Benson prior to that, as well as underneath the leadership of the Executive Director, Anthony Griffin, they have been so aggressive in reaching out to businesses. Brian Pabst and I were down at the International Conference of Shopping Malls at the Hyatt last Thursday. Do you know that they had an appointment set up every half hour for the entire day for us? To meet with commercial brokers that want to bring businesses into town, to meet with businesses that want to come into town. And I'm not talking about businesses that are dollar stores or things like that. I'm talking about restaurants that we can afford and that we want to go to. I'm talking about businesses that'll bring in products that we want to shop at. I'm talking about businesses that fit our community pay scale